Joining us now is David Kenny, the CEO of Nielsen, who also holds the title of Chief Diversity Officer. David, thanks for joining us. Just about that title, why did you decide to appoint yourself Chief Diversity Officer as well as CEO and not perhaps someone that is diverse?
Well, thank you, Sarah. That's a really good question. And I'm fortunate to have a very diverse team helping me. And they encouraged me last year to take the title on. I think there are three reasons for now that it made sense. One is power. There is no more powerful position than the CEO. And quite honestly, this isn't going to change if the people with power don't use that power to change it. The second is culture, to make sure that we're talking about inclusion at every level, at equality at every level, and that it is front and center in the boardroom and in the management room. And I think thirdly, accountability, the fact that we could set hard targets for ourselves and make those transparent to our board and measure them the same way we measure other outcomes like financial results.
And David, I believe you took on this extra title just over a year ago. What hard targets did you set then, and how many of them have you hit already?
So we set a couple that were important. One is to make sure that we've got good representation at every level. We're lucky that we're at 38.7% of our total population in America where we measure racial diversity, our people of color, and that has improved. But we also have targets at every level. We're getting close to those targets at my level, my direct reports. But in the middle, there's some levels we really need to work on. Secondly, I'm really pleased that we're doing better on gender diversity as well. 40% of our senior positions are filled by women. Obviously, that should be 50. And so we've got continued work to do there as well.
David, you guys in your business measure everything. I mean, I go there every Friday for some consumer staples, especially during this pandemic numbers. Can we measure this? I mean, can you do a cross-industry, cross-company metric where you can actually track the diversity numbers and the gender numbers to make sure that companies are holding up their promises?
Well, certainly, Sarah, it's measurable. The question is to what degree are companies willing to share it transparently? And I think we are, certainly encouraging that. I would say, but you've got to make sure you measure it right and independently and transparently, like the other things we do. Secondly, in the media side of our business, we're working with a number of broadcasters and studios to measure inclusion in casting, in performers, in presenters, so that in advertising, to really make sure that media is doing all it can to help change the culture and the dynamic and the conversation in America and the world.
David, stepping away for a moment from the equality debate, I wanted to dive a little bit into the trends you're seeing in media. Has the coronavirus lockdown accentuated the shift from traditional broadcasts to over-the-top services?
Well, certainly will. For the coronavirus has caused everybody to watch a lot more television, and everything is up, including broadcast. I would say that we're at the point now that 76% of households in America have connected devices, and that gives them the ability to stream. And they're certainly finding new streaming services at scale. Many of those streaming services are connected to the broadcaster, and some of them are new services as well.
David, finally, it's good to see a lot of companies give employees Juneteenth off as a paid holiday. Any discussion about giving Election Day as a holiday?
We certainly want to make sure that every employee has the ability to vote. We're looking at whether we need to give the whole day off or a part of the day. But we certainly are going to make it very easy for our people to vote. And quite honestly, we're looking at where they're going to vote in person and where they're going to vote in mail. And I would say not just our employees. We're taking a public stand. We want to make sure every American votes this year. It's an important year for elections.
David Kenny, thank you so much for joining us from Nielsen.
Glad to be with you. Thank you.